Hello YouTube world, my name is CJ and my channel is Celestial Ascension Tarot and Healing. But before that, for some of you that may have known me prior to this, it used to be called House of Mystical Embers. I have since rebranded because I have turned, well, not content creating, but I do have a legitimate business now. I am a tarot reader, medium, alternative healing coach. I'm a healer. I'm a whatchamacallit of a bunch of different psychic abilities and things like that. But anyway, I'm not going to make this video too long, but I just wanted to kind of come on here and introduce myself to anybody that might be new or might come across this. I am trying to revive my YouTube channel. I have been for a little while, and yes, I'm not as consistent as I should be. But for the main part, my main platform was over on TikTok. And I have a rant about TikTok because I'm very upset about this. And I know that I am not the only content creator that this has happened to. And one of the reasons why I have decided that I wanted to migrate, back over to YouTube. And then I found out that YouTube has changed its monetization from 4,000 views to 8,000 in order to be monetized, which was very disheartening to me because I'm feeling very defeated right now. And I do know that we have 2 eclipses back to back, and I feel like that this is, I don't know if this is an effect from that or whatnot, but I'm going to kind of go into like a short little version of what happened to me recently. So, I go live daily on TikTok. I was doing free yes or no questions. I had a paid reading list open. I also do private readings. I have my own website. I also have a web store, et cetera, et cetera. So I had recently moved out of state, and I had left my job, and I had supposedly I was supposed to have another job lined up for me already, but something had happened. There was a CEO change, and needless to say that role that I was going to be hired for was removed, so I didn't get the job. And tarot reading was a side business for me for many years, and I enjoyed doing it. I love doing it, and this was something that I always worked on trying to build into a full-time job. And I feel like this is my calling. And it's not just about, reading the cards, but for the thing that I get out of this is that I help people, that are feeling stuck in life or just feeling down. And I love giving advice to others, and I love, being that uplifter or that guiding light for people that are kind of like in a dark place. And I feel like this is something that I'm meant to be here to do through my own my own life experiences and the things that I have went through and what I have learned along the way. So last week, I think it was last Sunday, Saturday or Sunday, I was, I've been doing TikTok every single day. I've been really building up my platform over there. I've been getting a lot more followers, and, business was rolling in. Gained a few clients, which I was really happy about. I was doing very well, and my TikTok lives were great. I used to average anywhere between like 80 to 100 people on a normal day, as far as views. And then it started skyrocketing, up to like 200 and some people in my lives. And it can be a little frustrating when you're doing live with that many people in there, and you have everybody asking questions, and the chat is going crazy. My moderators couldn't keep up with questions as fast as they could, and sometimes there was accidents where they would accidentally mute people that they wasn't trying to. And shit happens, that's life. Accidents happen and whatnot. But I feel like sometimes the entitlement with people over on TikTok is real, and I'm providing a service. And for the most part, most people were only in there for free yes or no questions, which was fine. But I feel like people take advantage of that. And then people want to get upset or mad if their question is not being seen, or I'm not answering their question. And if they was on there for 10 minutes spamming the chat with that, and I still didn't see it because the chat is moving at a lightning fast pace, and I'm trying to get gifter questions and paid readings in, and it was like a madhouse in there. And then somebody decided that they wanted to report me for non-engagement in my live. The day before my big violation happened, I think I had 2 or 3 people that had reported me for non-engagement. And of course, there's no real appeal process on TikTok. When you do appeal it, there's just questions. There's no place for you to explain what happened or to explain yourself. You check off one of those questions. And of course, I said my content didn't, contain whatever this report was. And of course, TikTok wouldn't appeal it. So my appeal was denied. The next day, live was doing great. Had 200 and some people in there answering questions, had paid readings and whatnot. And some people were getting upset because I wasn't answering their questions. So then I got hit with seven violations that day for the same thing, saying that, I did not engage in the chat, which was a lie. And then somebody reported me 4 times. I don't know if it was 4 different people, if it was the one person, had reported me 4 different times back to back to back. So then I got hit with a 7-day restriction. So my live visibility was restricted for 7 days, which really dropped my views tremendously. It has also hurt my business. And I was okay, that week. At least mentally, I was okay because I knew it. And of course, TikTok didn't appeal. They denied my appeal again. And still, there's nowhere for me to explain myself, right? And so my live restriction visibility had got removed. It was lifted this past week. But now I'm shadow banned because my views in my live, where I would normally have anywhere between like 80 to 100 people on just normal days, has now dropped down to about 10. I have since decided that I was not going to do free yes or no questions anymore. I just feel like that kind of ruined it for me. And I just felt I had just been feeling very defeated. And then I find out about because I'm excited about, maybe I'll go back over on YouTube and kind of see what happens over there and try to revive my platform and maybe go live, because I used to go live on YouTube years ago, and that was great too. And no shade on YouTube or nothing, but I know that rebuilding a platform and trying to do that again, it's not that easy. And I'm not going to let that defeat me either, but I just feel so defeated right now. And for other small content creators, because I feel like I am a small content creator, and I'm trying to work on consistency and posting daily and things like that. I just feel so defeated. It's like at every turn right now, it's like something is trying to stop me, and I'm not going to allow it to happen. But I'm very upset with TikTok because I don't like how I feel like TikTok does not protect its creators on there. Whether you're just a live host or you post and do live, whatever it is that you do on TikTok, I do not feel like TikTok protects its creators. Because for somebody to be mad at you, or to maybe just not like you, and they want to be an asshole and go report your account, your content, your live, or whatever, and for TikTok to side with somebody that is lying on you and doing false reporting or falsely accusing you of things, and for TikTok to also shadow ban you, I don't feel like creators on TikTok are protected. And I feel like that's sad, because if it's not for the creators on TikTok, TikTok's not making money. You have TikTok Shop, people get gifts, which TikTok takes 60% of the gifts that are given after somebody has already paid TikTok to purchase the gifts. And then when they give the gift to a creator, TikTok will still take 60% of that gift, and you only get 40% of whatever the gift amount is. I don't feel like TikTok really cares or has any care for their creators, in my opinion, after being on the platform for so many years. Does this mean that I'm going to leave TikTok? No, I'm not going to leave TikTok. But it may just end up being a secondary platform at some point. I'm not sure. I'm just going to kind of ride the wave and see where it goes. But I just wanted to kind of come on here and just talk about that. You know, I was even debating on even if I should post this video or not. But I've just been kind of seeing how small creators are feeling very defeated right now on trying to just even get a foot in the door of, you know, monetization, you know, etc., etc. You know, even for YouTube to raise 4,000 to 8,000 views when small creators are already having enough trouble as it is to hit those 4,000 views, you know, in order to be monetized. I feel like it's sad, because I feel like that's kind of a kick in the face to people that's already that is already trying and have worked so hard on, you know, posting daily or weekly or however they do it. And this is not just an advocation for me, this is an advocation for all small creators out there. And I just also want to send another message, you know, on a spiritual note. You know, I feel like, you know, because a lot of my collective readings that I have been doing lately, I feel like it's not just speaking to me, but it's speaking to other people. If you've been feeling defeated lately and just feel like at every turn something is always happening or trying to stop you from pursuing your dreams or moving forward, you know what I say? I say, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm going to reject that. I'm going to reject the negative feelings. I'm going to reject the pushback, and I'm going to keep forging forward, because I know within my heart and my soul where my path is leading me. And I know that the universe has a way of testing us in times like this to see if we're going to fold, are we going to give up, or are we going to keep forging forward. And there's always a way around your obstacles. So if you're seeing this and you're a small creator, or if you're just having trouble in life in general, just don't give up. Where there's a will, there's a way. There's a way around the obstacles. You're going to make it through. I'm going to make it through. You know, I'm going to make it work no matter what. But, you know, just, I know in a world the way it is now, it's very easy to lose hope and to lose that mindset or that momentum that you once had. But just look at it as maybe you need to do a reset, and you might need to make a few changes or a few tweaks. And I'm kind of viewing my situation as maybe I'm being pushed into another direction, and maybe this is it. I don't know. I'm just going to ride the wave. And yes, just because I'm psychic does not mean that I know it all. Because that is not how our gifts work, just so you know. But yeah, so I just wanted to kind of come on here and just do this little rant, and hopefully to bring the message to everybody else to don't give up hope. But yeah, TikTok does need to do better. There needs to be better protections for their creators. And YouTube, I am very disappointed in hearing that you are changing from 4,000 to 8,000. That was very disheartening for me. But you know, anyway, I hope everybody has a beautiful day, and thank you for listening to me. If you made it this far in the video, you will be seeing some more content from me coming soon. Anyway, have a beautiful day. Blessed be, sending many blessings and love to everyone's way.